Hello and welcome, everyone. I am Gary Godsoe, and welcome to Velocity Online Racing's coverage of Championship Saturday and round 14 of season 12 of the VOR Signature Series, the INDYCAR Championship, as we come to you today from Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Las Vegas 500K Championship race presented by Lovern Incorporated. Months of racing, everything comes down to today. A 5-point spread between our top two leaders, Liam O'Sullivan and Jesper Orman. Julian Altena is involved here in the final race of the season. He is mathematically still eligible for it, but he needs a lot of stuff to happen in order for him to be the champion of the iconic DW12 series and of the INDYCAR Championship in the same season. Welcome again, everybody, and welcome into the booth. With me is back from jet setting to the Middle East, Ryan Erik King. Ryan, we talked about your adventures there in the Middle East covering Formula One. Now it's back to virtual INDYCAR, and we are at a 1.5 mile track that they don't go to anymore. And we saw, well, there's kind of a reason why they don't go back to it, because we kind of saw tragically what happened back in 2011. But in the virtual world, we get to come back to this place. And in the virtual sense, this is a really fun place to run.
Yeah, this is ideally, a place you like to end of the year. It's an oval. It's a relatively fast one. When you get the setup right, you get good racing. You don't really get the cars bunching up much. You get decisive passes where you can defend your position. It's a really fun way to end the year.
And today we will be honoring the past of INDYCAR history and INDYCAR champions with throwback liveries. We'll explain as many of those as possible during the race. That's why you see some different paint jobs out there. And we just went official for this session, so we're getting ready to give you a starting lineup. Looks like Seb Alexander provisionally on the pole with his IAR teammate currently second, and Clindy third, and then their other IAR teammate, Mark Murphy, fourth. So IAR controlling spots 1, 2, and 4 out of the top 5. And here is today's starting lineup for the Las Vegas 500K presented by Lovern Incorporated, the championship race of our season. On the pole, Seb Alexander, you see with the speed of 221.1, and he was 0.2 faster mile per hour than Jesper Orman, who is our points leader coming into this event. Jesper 220.9. So Jesper in the best position right now to start this championship run off and hopefully look for win number 7 of the season. He is second on the grid. Third, you see the drone circling there. Clindy, Kyle Clinworth making an appearance. He is driving in the throwback for Scott Dixon. Well, it's not much of a throwback. It's his current livery for the most part. But he is, when he drove that is his last INDYCAR championship in the PNC Bank Dallara. Lining up fourth is Mark Murphy and a Uncle Bobby throwback, very similar to Jesper Orman there, but a little bit older. Seb Kinder and the Seb Bourdais throwback. Next to him, Julian Altena and the Will Power throwback. Liam O'Sullivan, he says, he had a choice, he had it picked, it was a nice one, but he's like, no, I am not going to tempt fate today. I need all the good luck, and he is sticking with what brought him to the party. And he is lined up 7th in his everyday livery. Right next to him is Patrick Salvazzi. And a very interesting Conseco throwback to 1996 Scott Sharp, co-champion of the Indy Racing League that year. That is eligible, and he is running it. And you don't see it very often, but it looks very cool. Bart Firestein, he is in the Dan Weldon throwback to 2000, I think that's 2005, when he won the Indy 500. Gary Lovern in his everyday livery, he is 10th. We got Tim Bree and another Willpower throwback. Since he didn't tell me which one he was going to get, we're going to have two of them out there. Typically, I would have given him another assignment so we wouldn't lose track of that, but okay. Pennyworth in these everyday livery, Yellen in his everyday livery, Matt Wagner in the 2000 Buddy Lazier throwback, Mason Mitchum in the 77 AJ Foyt, Forsyth Paul Tracy, Ryan Walker, and also in one of the throwbacks for Scotty D back before he drove the PNC Bank in his final, I think, Target livery championship. And Shane Coker, he's in there for Sam Hornish. Here we go. And you see Seb Alexander leading the early laps. He is in a throwback to Jim Clark. That is not an IndyCar champion livery, though. So he's not obeying the complete rules of the game, but we'll let it slide. He's a former Indy 500 winner. There is a difference between winning the Indy 500 and winning the national championship. And we were talking before the race. Ask Elio Castroneves the difference. 4 Indy 500 wins, not a single national championship. In fact, of all the 4-time Indy 500 winners, he's the only one not to win the national championship. Of course, Al Unser Sr. won the national championship. AJ Foyt won 7 of them. And Rick Mears won the national championship. So I don't think, do you think Elliott would cash in one of those Indy 500s for the national championship? I don't think he would.
No, he wouldn't. He...
And it is a tight top group right now. It's Alexander, Orman, Clindy, Murph, and O'Sullivan, your top 5. Seb Kinder also involved there in Mickey D's car. Lovern, Slovazzi, top 8. Throw them all under a blanket at the moment.
Yeah, it seems like everyone's fighting to be in that second position to get to Seb Alexander's rear wing.
Now, Clindy, this is kind of Las Vegas week here on the, with the broadcast team. We started Monday night on P1, on our P1 channel with the ISRA. They raced here at Las Vegas. And then we raced here yesterday in the VOR DW12 series. That was a surprise winner. Alexander Miller getting his first career win in his second start. As there was a little touch of wheels between Julian and Jesper coming to the checkered flag. So Jesper looking for a little redemption in the Uncle Bobby Norton Spirit 1981 Indy 500 winner livery right there. He drove for Team Penske. Got his third Indy 500 win. The very famous win, which actually belonged to Mario Andretti for a number of months. And right behind this group, you see Murph. He's in 1974 Bobby Unser livery. So Uncle Bobby, well represented here. No Al Jr., no Al Sr. What would you do if you were to drive in this? Who would you pick?
Oh, I'd probably run with Seb Alexander's running. Probably. Well, no, I'd probably run with Sebastian Kinder's running. The 04 Newman Haas Seb Bourdais livery.
There he is. Actually sporting the McDonald's sponsorship. Now, the rules of the game here, and it's just for fun, folks. It's just for fun. If he wanted to put his team sponsors on that car, would have been fine, long as, you know, kind of the base livery is kind of what's shown. Pretty much a good example is what Slovazzi has. Let's go back and find Craig Forsyth. Well, he doesn't have any 4D on the car for a change, but normally his everyday livery kind of would have been a perfect example of the best way to do it. Meanwhile, up front, Seb Alexander continues to lead. Lap 11 of 2:08. Orman second. Murph is third. Bennyworth is moved himself up to fourth. Clindworth, we got two Worths out there. Clindy is fifth. Lovern now sixth. O'Sullivan seventh. Seb Kinder eighth. Julian Altena now ninth. And Silvazzi 10th. So let's bring up the points one more time. And all drop races have been applied. The season finale at Vegas cannot be dropped. So if somebody has a bad finish here, they can't go, oh, well, I'm going to drop this one. O'Sullivan has a finish in front of Orman and will be the champion. So that is really Liam's key goal here, is to get in front of Orman. Orman must outscore O'Sullivan by at least 6 points. And Altena needs to outscore O'Sullivan and Orman by 26 in order to be the champion. That is your scenarios for today's race. We got Jim Clark, Uncle Bobby, first, second, and third. Scott Dixon, currently fourth. And Bennyworth up in the high line in fifth. Trying to make that high line work. But I don't know. I'm not sure if the high line is going to work this early on, especially kind of with the track temperature as it is. You see 94 degrees track temperature, 89 degrees ambient, light wind.
Yeah, because it seems like the race so far has been an informal Alexander Orman tandem with everyone fighting for their lives for third.
Let's ride with Liam O'Sullivan. He's on the high side. He's got to bring this car home, and they are getting awfully look at that sun in your eyes coming off of four. Getting awfully dicey up front. The last thing he wants to do is be caught up in somebody's incident and end his championship run. Well, much like kind of what happened to Will Power at Nashville Super Speedway this season. Very early on, and your race is done.
Yeah, and like especially here when your tires start heating up. Turn 4, the exit, that's where you start feeling it first. Your car gets tight, it wants to pull you up into the wall, and you got to do everything you can to keep yourself off the wall and not to be on someone's outside when they get tight.
And also, if you turn the wheel too much there and you work the car too hard there and you have too much weight jacker, we've seen them where they get loose right here. Watch when he gets to the wall. Well, he's not that close to the wall, but if you get really, really close to the wall and you have too much weight jacker, you will get an instant snap loose on exit, and they don't want that to happen either. Sullivan now up to fourth on the high side.
Yeah, ideally you want to preempt it. If you know your car is going to be tight, you go into 3 a bit slower than you would, so you could be full throttle on exit on 4 and not have to worry about it.
Murph keeps popping out, getting clean air on the wings. He's going to stay on the high side, give dirty air to Liam. I would not be surprised that we're going to have some sort of team orders going out here to kind of defend and help other team members do well. It is part of the game. You might not like the game. As they say, don't hate the player, hate the game. Speaking of, are you going to be watching Saturday Night's main event tonight?
Yes, I got a packed day today. Main event tonight. On a second screen, I got the Army-Navy game on.
That's Saturday night main event. We're watching that tonight. Jesse the Body Ventura, former wrestler turned Minnesota governor. Let me tell you something, McMahon. Here comes O'Sullivan on the outside. Murph can't really slide up. Now Murph slides up, gets a little dirty air, applies that to the front end of Liam. Liam now looking low to continue the ride over the shoulder with the guy second in points. trying to run down his rival. His rival is 2 cars ahead. His rival is... I don't think I have it. Do I have my screen? Yeah, there's his rival right there. Underneath him is Clindy. 4 spots up in this race is Craig Forsyth. He's back to 12th. Back in 12th, excuse me. Shane Coker up 4 spots. He's 14th. Bart has fallen back. Kind of floating in the back with Ryan Walker. Of course, you know Ryan. He has joined us with our IIS broadcast for 2024. And will be back with us for the 2025 IIS. We will announce that today. We'll cover the top split of the IIS for next season. When the INDYCAR Series race, we will race to that Saturday at the 2 p.m. Eastern top split. Only on weeks that the NTT INDYCAR Series runs. We're a little ways away from that first race.
A couple months out from us heading back to St. Pete.
Yeah, round 1 should be March 1st of the IS. Same day as Elimination Chamber. But that will be, I believe, if it's going to be the same schedule as last year's, normally in place of St. Pete, it is Sebring. That will be over on the P1 channel. Back up front, Seb Alexander still leading this group, and we're not too far away from our first round of pit stops, as everyone has been very well behaved here on this opening stanza. Looks like Griffin Yellen had some incident. We did not see what happened, but he is now in the pits 5 laps down. I don't know if you'll get a chance to see what happened there, Ryan. See what happened. Let us know.
Yeah, looking back.
3 wide. 3 wide in the 3, boys. One of which is a player in the championship in the middle. And they all dice it up and nicely.
Yeah, on entry into 1, Griffin just turned in too soon, clipped the apron, and then shot right back up the track into the wall.
And Tim Bree is in the right. I don't know if he told me or not, but he's in the right livery. We don't have 2 versions of that. Today's rule set, 7 sets of tires, 1 in the car, 6 in the pits, 100% fuel, 100% engine power. IndyCar wave around rule is in effect. This is a 1.5-mile D-shaped oval, 208 race laps, 312 miles. Seb, way up. That's Kinder, way up in the gray. 312 race miles, or 500K. Pit road speed limit is 50 miles an hour. And a number of race suspensions today. That's why we're looking at a slightly smaller field. The Las Vegas track record set back in its first race here in '96 on the flat configuration. Ari Leyendyk, the speed of 226.4. Tony Kanaan holds the more modern day IndyCar record here in that last race in 2011 with a speed of 222.0. So we were right in that range of 4 qualifications here today. Kart track record, when Kart came here, this was on the front lines of the IndyCar Civil War, Las Vegas, was Patrick Carpentier. Set the track record back in 2004 with a speed of 206.186 with extreme high downforce for a lot of those kart races back in the day. And the car above him, which is Seb Alexander, Seb won 2 of those car races when they did come here. And he is the IndyCar career wins leader here at Las Vegas with 2 wins. And, of course, our good friend over in the ISRA and the Lionheart Series, Richie Hearn, got the very first win here in the IndyCar for an IndyCar in IndyCar history when he won that 96 slugfest here when just about everybody wrecked. He just survived. Lovern up against the wall inside Benny. We're trying to get the position. We're going to go 3 wide at the line. Scott Sharp way up high. Meanwhile, back up front, it is getting a bit more racier as now Liam O'Sullivan is ahead of Jesper Orman. So we have seen a pass in the standings, and now if we were to end the race right now, Liam would be your series champion. Clindy is 3rd, Murph is 4th, Julian 5th, Jesper now 6th. So not sure what happened to Jesper. Don't know if he touched the wall. I don't know if the tires are not agreeing with him, but we are getting very close to first round pit stops. Lindy's going to pop out on the high side. Take a look on Alexander. Going to have a run down the backstretch. Alexander's going to stay low. O'Sullivan's going to stick with Clindy. I think in this case, maybe he's thinking the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah, because at this point, when you're so close to that first pit window, kind of just want to make sure you make that window.
Yeah, and it's a very critical pit entry here at Las Vegas. Under green, they must enter off of turn 3 on the apron. Now, under caution, they can enter off of turn 4, but under green, they must enter off the apron on 3. Still watching the battle for the lead now. Clindy. I don't know. Clindy might, the best thing for Clindy is might try to get to the low side going into 1, because it looks like Seb's keeping the door open just enough that if Clindy needs to get a nose there. The question is will Seb slam the door shut? We saw a really good move on yesterday's race in the DW12 with Liam O'Sullivan doing a basically a crossover move on the leader. Leader did not expect that. Here's Julian. He's now up to 5th. Oh, Julian, dirty air up high. I think his teammate was trying to help him, and it's just at the wrong time. Greg Forsyth on the high side, getting a position on Silvazzi. Move Paul Tracy up to 9th. This is the 2003 Paul Tracy livery. Haven't decided what we are going to do for theme race for next season. Ooh, high side. Seb Kinder on Lovern. Lovern's now going to stay low and is going to let Forsyth go. Move Forsyth up to 9th. Lovern back to, up to 8th. Lovern back to 9th. He was as high as 7th just a lap or so ago. That's how quickly it can happen here. But we have not picked a theme for next year's livery race. Although thinking, though, for the Indy 500, maybe just use former Indy 500. Oh, car in the wall. 2 cars in the wall. Mark Murphy and Julian Altena. And we are not under caution. And what happened? We're going to have to check that out. Julian on the outside. Oh, no. Murph squeeze him and hooks wheels. And it has been, Julian has been nothing but snake bit on the ovals for the entire second half of this season. And once again, snake has, well, this is the desert. So the snake has found him in the desert and has bit him. And it doesn't look like he's going to be done for the day. Murph is done for the day.
Like, I understand why the sim didn't throw the flag, but I'm still shocked.
Let's go back and watch while this still race develops. Okay, so then on the outside, you might have gone back a little bit too far, but we wanted to see how this thing sets up. And there's Julian on the outside. He's going to slot back down. And we're going to have pit stops happening very, very shortly here. So if the first pit stop's going to happen probably in this window while we're watching this. So we'll be mindful of that as well. And here comes Julian, going to get a run. He's going to go to the outside. And I think Murph was gonna, yeah, wow. An uncharacteristic contact for Murph. And unfortunately, that takes out Julian.
Sam Alexander is coming in.
His championship is done. So let's get back to live television. And Seb Alexander coming off of turns 3 and 4 on the apron, as instructed to make his first pit stop. He needs to get over to the high-speed lane. Yeah, you can't stay on the inside. That will get you a penalty here in the league. And he will find his pit stall right at the very end. And he's going to stop a little bit earlier than everyone else. Bart Feuerstein on pit road as well. He rode through a whole bunch of stalls. That's going to be a penalty at some point. But Alexander done. But he was leading the whole time. Okay, we got Liam O'Sullivan now on the apron coming to pit road. Trying to slow down. And he got down to the limit in time. Now he just needs to go not quite all the way to the end. And Mason Mitchum in the Coyote Orange AJ Foyt 1977 throwback. He's coming in for service, routine stop. And now we got Clindy on pit road. He needs to get over. He can't stay on that side. Again, there's a kind of a pit procedure here in the VOR League where you need to stay far right and then come left when you get closer to your pits. Seb Kinder, you see him coming off on the pit road, excuse me. Shane Coker in the yellow submarine, honoring his near hometown hero there of Sam Hornish. Gary Lovern coming into pit road. But Jesper Orman going long. He is now on lap 54 of this stint. Forsyth second. He is, Wagner has not stopped either. Ryan Walker has not stopped, but does Patrick Salvazzi coming down the pit road. And now this Scott Sharp livery has won in IndyCar history. It did win the 96 New Hampshire race, which was part of the 96-97 IRL calendar. Back when Tony George thought it had been a really good idea to end the season at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Indy 500. In theory, that works fine. But in practice, your race is in May. It's in the middle of the year. That's not how a lot of companies work fiscally. Ryan Walker, now your leader, coming off the banking. And he is coming to pit road. So Jesper Orman off of pit road now, completed his stop. Now you see Forsyth completed his stop. Wags completed his stop. They're all coming all at the same time. So we will see Jesper Orman coming up the speed. Here comes Liam O'Sullivan. He will go by. Clindy will go by. And Alexander will go by.
Let's see, can he stay in the tow? And
I don't think he will be able to. Walker down and away, finishing his first stop in his debut race here in the VOR Series. So now the lead is Liam O'Sullivan, who needs, well, he doesn't need a win. He just needs to finish ahead of Orman, and we believe the championship is his. And right now, he has the number one spot on the racetrack, followed by Clindy and Alexander. And both Clindy and Alexander are fanning out like they really want to take a shot at this thing. But right now, we haven't seen any, well, we're going to go 3 wide into 3. Haven't seen anyone successfully pass on the high side yet.
especially at a track like this, when you have a championship on the line, I wouldn't put myself in the fight for the lead. It is a dangerous place to be.
I would be near the fight, but yeah, not in the fight. And actually, he has reeled them back in. So Orman is there. If you enjoy Velocity Online Race's coverage of the VOR INDYCAR Championship and respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell so you don't miss out on future VOR iRacing broadcasts. And the next one for us will be January 11th when we open up Season 13 of the INDYCAR Championship at Texas. Too wide. Orman on the high side. He might actually have this.
Yeah. Orman, can't quite get clear.
And now the championship swings back into Orman's favor.
Yeah, the title rivals side by side. And that's the thing here is at these intermediate tracks in these cars where if you're going to do a double overtake around the outside, you have to power past both cars. You don't want to end up in a situation where you're stuck side by side.
Glindy with the R next to his name, but he's anything but a rookie. Finished on the podium the last 3 seasons of the INDYCAR Oval Championship in the official series. Was second place this season. It is Clindy, it is Orman, Alexander, O'Sullivan, Forsyth now up to 5th. And I think Forsyth and Wags are swapping the lead, trying to reel in this group, or swapping their positions to reel in this group. They are 4 seconds behind, and they reel them in. That time by Forsyth and Wagner, 25-2, 25-2, and the leaders were at 25-2 as well, so marginally. Also in this group is Seb Kinder and Tim Bree, as they are just kind of riding along in this group at the moment.
Like, I know what I said a couple laps ago about not wanting to race for the lead. But when your title rival's also in the leading group, you kind of don't have a choice anymore.
Yeah, you need to answer that move with a move of your own. Lap 66 of 2:08. And judging by this DM that I just got from Julian, I don't think he's happy. Don't think he's happy.
No one wants to end their year with a DNF.
Former series champion looking for another one, yes. And he said it himself. I don't think he said he hasn't finished an oval race in 3 months, which, gosh, let's look at the schedule for this series. I mean, that's going back to, is that Indy?
Yeah.
So 3 months, that'll be November, October, September. Either Indy or Nashville. And Julian finished second in Indy. And looking at Nashville, watching this battle for the lead, Clindy. Yeah, he didn't have a hot. Yeah, he finished last at Nashville. Did not have a hot race there, so that's kind of where the downfall happened for him. That Julian was the season 1 champion way back, many moons ago, back in 2020. I think he came back the next season and won the next season. Yeah, he won season 2 as well. So he was looking to be at least a 3-time champion. You can understand his frustration. Anyways, let's get back to the action on the racetrack. It is Clindy, Orman, Alexander, and O'Sullivan. They've kind of separated out to be the lead group, although Wagner and Forsyth has brought their group in about a second by swapping the lead. They are now 3.4 behind this group. Let's get the camera on them. There they are. So they are running down this second group now, 3.3. And they are effectively doing this very well.
Yeah, ideally they want to get on the verge of being in the tow the next pit stop window. So if they get a good round of stops, they'll be right back in the fight.
Yeah, 22 laps of the current stint for Clindy, 19 for Orman, 25 for Alexander. Remember, Alexander led most of the first stint, so he was getting the least favorable mileage. O'Sullivan has 24 laps into his current stint. Wagner and Forsyth are only 20 laps into their current stint, so they're trying to run this down. They're on full burn, full hot, map 1, trying to run down the leaders. 3.1 seconds now up to the leaders for Forsyth and Wagner. A long way to go, but still a long time to get there. And for that matter is at least they can see them. That helps.
Yeah, it's very encouraging because you see the destination.
And let's ride with Wags and that Buddy Lazier throwback. The Wags was asking me, what should I drive? Because he was going to, I was going to allow a special, not a IndyCar champion livery, just because we know this guy and we like him a lot. We race against him with him in the ISRA. I was going to allow him to run the Richie Hearn Ralph's Food for Less livery. That won here at Las Vegas in '96, the very first win, and Richie's only career IndyCar win. I thought it was out on Trading Paints, but it's not. So somebody, if you're out there, if you're a good painter, you might want to paint that up and put it out there, because there are drivers that occasionally look for that one, and that would have been nice to have for this race. But he asked me, what should I choose? And I'm like, well, let's do Buddy Lazier 2000. I know I got kind of a soft spot for Buddy. I don't know why. I've always liked the purple car. We know INDYCAR blogger and vlogger David Land. He's a big fan of Buddy Lazier. Of course, we've seen Buddy's son in some of the broadcasts that we've done in the past. Flynn. And they are 3.5. You can see them now. I mean, they are getting closer.
Yeah, the leaders are going to get a bit of help here because they're coming up on lap traffic, so they're going to get a tow.
That's going to be Walker and Mitchum up there. They're going to get around Mitchum. Walker's one of our driver experts for the P1 coverage of the IIS, which is the IndyCar iRacing Series, or the iRacing IndyCar Series. However, I've seen it many different ways. And he's also, let's throw it out to Ryan there as he lists the leaders on by very safe. During the blackout period, he won one of the splits for the majors Indy 500s when they were driving the IR01 in that race. For the when they were doing the IndyCar license did not belong properly to iRacing. I shouldn't say belong, but was being used properly by iRacing. Yeah, all that licensing was purchased for use by the thieves at Motorsports Games. It is now Orman and Clindy. They've kind of pulled away by a second and a quarter over Alexander and O'Sullivan. So that's not good news for O'Sullivan. You can't let the leader get away like that. In the meantime, O'Sullivan, he needs to contend with Alexander, who's the pole sitter and the teammate of Orman. And looking to make that car wide going in the one.
Yeah, it's every foot, every yard is going to matter in this title fight, and if you have two cars in that leading group and you need one to win this race, you just do something to split the group up. Obviously, they didn't intend to split the group up, but the opportunity presented itself.
And O'Sullivan on the high side. He just about had him cleared going in the 3. He's almost clear. He could Brazilian clear him right now, and that's exactly what he's going to do. So as these tires get worn out, the high side starts coming in as a viable line. And not too far away, Craig Forsyth and Matt Wagner, they are getting closer and closer and closer. Let's get the gaps on here. You see Forsyth 1.2 behind Alexander, so he is in the draft envelope. Meanwhile, 36 laps for Clindy, 33 laps for Orman. They went in the 50s last time. And we had no cautions yet. Again, I will circle the lap count here and put my initials next to it, saying that I just jinxed the race at this point. But while we're watching the action here, of course, you are hot off a trip to Abu Dhabi for the Formula One championship race. What'd you fly to get over there?
flew on KLM to go over there, because normally I fly Delta Airlines, but Delta no longer flies to the UAE. So I got a Delta ticket. They're like, hey, you're flying on KLM. Flew from John F. Kennedy, New York, to Schiphol in Amsterdam, to Dubai International.
Nice. Now, did they flip for the business class seats, or they make you sit back in carriage with the rest of the dirty masses?
So the main reason I was going to Dubai was to cover the launch of Genesis, the Genesis Magma Racing, their Le Mans / IMSA program that they're going to have going ahead, and Genesis were kind enough to put me in business class.
Wow. Now, I will say, and when I went to India and China for work, they put me in business class, and it is so nice when you get to the door of the aircraft, instead of making that right turn, which is economy, you make that left turn, and then the next thing you do is you're handed like a glass of champagne.
It feels like you're in a different world.
It does, and then you got the lay flat bed where you can actually sleep and everything. Oh yes, it is so awesome.
But yeah, this season finale today is my third after doing NASCAR in Phoenix, F1 in Abu Dhabi, now VOR at Las Vegas.
Now, did they give you the full Ric Flair treatment? Did you get the limousine?
No, but Genesis had chauffeured cars the entire week, so
nice.
All the Genesis cars that they produce for people out there on the road got to sit in the back of all of them.
Nice. And they could read your story over on Jalopnik? Everyone can read your story? Everybody check it out after the race.
Because they reveal the car, they also reveal the first two drivers. So they have three-time Le Mans winner at Audi, Andre Lauder, and they also have two-time IMSA champion Pippo Durrani leading their squad.
Ooh. Now, I suppose some of the big F1 news over there was the Cadillac team. Was that big news?
Yeah, that was sort of in between the Cadillac team finally getting their approval to run and the announcement that until they get their own power unit ready to go, they'll be using Ferrari engines.
A Ferrari and a Cadillac. Wow, that is an odd combination.
Very odd.
So, what is there any involvement with Andretti at all, or is Andretti then out of this thing entirely? And I mean, why is no longer Michael part of kind of the group anymore?
It is the strange case of it seemingly not being business, but it being simply personal.
Oh, so he had an issue with one of his other co-owners, Andretti Autosport? Oh
no, it's from what I hear in the Formula One world, Greg Maffei at Liberty and a number of the other team owners just simply didn't like the way that Michael Andretti went about campaigning for his team to get into Formula One when they were initially rejected. So, like, I believe back in 2013, he went around the Miami Grand Prix paddock trying to get all the other team bosses' signatures and, you know, other stunts like that. Also getting Congress involved, where the other team owners and Formula One management just simply, they were done with specifically Michael Andretti.
Wow. And so because of that, reputation was damaged enough that he's stepping down from the head of his INDYCAR team.
Yep.
Wow. So on that note, what's the likelihood of now a Andretti driver, and we're talking Colton Herta, driving that Cadillac sometime in the future?
Well, I don't know. That is down to team preference. Especially when it comes with a new Formula One team. It could be anyone. It could be anyone. Because, like Colton Herta, he does have a super license now. If they want to run him, they can.
Okay, Liam O'Sullivan, second pit stop scheduled. Coming to pit road right now, went 51 laps this time. Orman's still on the racetrack at 48 laps. Wagner at 48 now in second. Forsyth third. He's at 48 as well. So that duo of Forsyth and Wagner have moved up a little bit. We did miss Clindy coming to pit road. He's coming off of pit road right now. He went 50 laps. There are your weather conditions. It is still a decent amount of heat in that racetrack at 93 degrees. Orman, Wagner, Forsyth, Kinder, Silvazzi, your top five. Ryan Walker is 6th. Liam O'Sullivan coming off of pit road now 7th as you get bypassed by Clindy, although he's not that far behind Clindy. Seb Alexander 9th. Tim Bree is 10th. That is your top 10. Showing only 2 cars out, Murph and Julian Altena, and also Griffin Yellen is also out. How will that impact the championship? Well, let's take a look. We see Sebastian coming to pit road. Orman coming off. Actually, the funny thing is Altena and Murph, they were fighting for 3rd and 4th. Murph needed a good finish in order to get around Julian, so Julian may be locked into 3rd. Murph not locked in to 4th. Forsyth with a good finish here might actually get him. Same thing with Silvazzi. So we will see how the math works out. That might have been a costly incident. 108 to 208, 100 to go here at the 1.5 mile in the desert. It is VOR Championship weekend. We crowned we actually crowned a driver for the Iconic Series a week ago back in Michigan. He clinched with a race to go, but officially crowned Julian the champion of the Iconic Series for the 2nd time yesterday here in Vegas, and tonight we will crown a new INDYCAR champion. Bruno Miranda was your season 11 champion. Watching this battle between Clindy and O'Sullivan. Ryan Walker is your leader right now as he is going long. Once again, 53 laps, now 54. Went 56 the first time. Or his last time, excuse me. Now he's coming to pit road. This will turn the lead over to Jesper. Who has got 6 wins this season, looking for win number 7. And I believe with another win, and there he goes over, going around Bart on the high side, on the low side, Bart on the high side there, and at the Weldon throwback. One more win, Jesper ties all-time wins leader Alex Van de Sant with his 17th victory for the most wins all-time here in the VOR Series. That's in a very short amount of time. Bruno Miranda is currently 3rd all-time with 12. Julian 4th with 11. Good old Isaac Morris. We haven't seen or heard from him in a while, but we miss him. That has 9 wins. Greg Forsyth, 6. Will Lyon, 5. Mark Murphy with 5. Rafi Eckert with 4. Oscar Gonzalez, the OGG, back with 3. Luis Gonzalez Nunez, RLGN. He has 3. But now the battle starts brewing at the front between our 2 championship rivals as O'Sullivan is there. 115 to 208. Still a long way to go. If you are joining us, this is Velocity Online Racing's coverage of Championship Saturday of the VOR INDYCAR Championship, coming to you from Las Vegas for the Las Vegas 500K Championship race presented by Lovern's Inc. We have completed now 106 of a scheduled 208 laps. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel so don't miss out on the next race. Today's Las Vegas 500K Championship race brought to you by Lovern Incorporated. Lovern's provides professional services in renovation, remodeling, painting, and mold removal for government, commercial, and residential projects. For a quote or to learn more, like them on Facebook, follow them, like them on Facebook, or visit their website at lovernsinc.com. All the links you need are in the description. And once again, a special shout out to Tom Lovern, which is the brother of Gary. He is the owner of Lovern's Inc. I want to welcome them to the broadcast. There is Gary right there on the tail end of this lead pack. Currently in 12th, 1 lap down, first car 1 lap down, but hanging on to the lead group pretty well right now as we see Clindy go way up near the wall. I think Gary's car should have like some type of Coca-Cola sponsorship on the side. That's kind of what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
Or maybe if it's a little bit darker, like a Dr. Pepper or something. And while we're watching the battle here at the front, here is the season 13 schedule once again. And we will start this all over again January 11th at Texas Motor Speedway, then go to Watkins Glen, the Milwaukee Mile, Iowa, and then we'll go to Montreal. And then we will do a week's worth of qualifying at Indy. Then we will have the 13th running of the VOR Indy 500 full-length event, March 15th. And then Nashville Superspeedway, Long Beach, Homestead, and Auto Club. If you notice there's not really a Triple Crown. It's 2 Triple Crown events, but no Triple Crown races. We'll have 2 500-milers. 1 in the middle of the season, 1 to finish the season there at Auto Club. If you're interested in participating, the first place you go to learn more is the VOR Discord server. Link is in the description. Join there. Find out more. There is a fee to sign up. If you have limited experience in these cars, we recommend you try the Iconic Series first. The Iconic Series schedule kind of mirrors, to the most part, the IR18 Championship, INDYCAR Championship schedule. So we would recommend you get some experience there in the DW12 and then move over to the IR18. But if you have lots of experience in the IR18, want to join the championship, make sure to join the Discord, learn everything you need to, sign up, pay your fee, and you too can be on the starting grid January 11th at Texas. That will be broadcasted right here by all of us involved at P1 right here on the VOR channel. Again, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you don't miss out on reminders of when we go live. $123 now, 124 of 208. So we have gone, again, I'm saying it, I jinxed it before, but we are still caution-free. We had 1 incident that did not result in a caution. Your top 3 are your top 2 in the championship, fighting for who is going to get that championship cup for this season. Your third-place driver, Clindy, you've heard him before on our broadcast. He was here last week at Detroit filling in for Ryan, and, of course, he is my regular broadcast partner for the Iconic Series on Friday. He's just here to win it. He's here for nothing else. He is currently third. Wagner and Forsyth continue to swap the lead back and forth. They are 3.5 behind this group. So whatever they gained in that last stint, it looks like they may have lost it a little bit through the pit stops. And Seb Alexander started from the pole, currently 6th. Shout out to Ben Bennyworth. Give him on camera. He is currently 7th. And Tim Bree 8th. And actually all of these cars right here. This is 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th on the grid at the moment. Bennyworth, Bree, Kinder, and Salvazzi. And they are 13 seconds behind Alexander. So they are about a half a lap behind. And they need a caution in order to catch back up. There's really no amount of swap drafting that's really going to get them, in draft range. They might shave off a second or so, but then it'll be time to pit again. So they really, really need a caution. After our next round of pit stops, we'll go through the field. If you ever want to highlight.
Yeah, because seemingly we're coming up again on another pit window.
We got the Seb Kinder 97 fan club in chat saying Seb's the best. When can I see the scores of the championship? Well, it's we'll bring those up one more time. Someone asked for it, but we had them at the beginning. But here are your points coming into tonight. We don't have a means to do live updates, but there is. We do know that there is enough difference in points that really just. Liam finishing ahead of Jesper finishing ahead of Liam is ultimately probably what will decide this. And then we got a battle of the teams championship between Indy Alliance and Altina Autosport. And I think that will shake out as soon as we see who wins the drivers championship. At the 200-mile mark here now, coming to lap 134. This is kind of where our DW12 races end. We still got a lot more racing to go. Jesper's led 46 laps tonight. Lindy's led 32. Liam's only led 2. And this is our last race on the channel for a while. We will not be bringing you the next race until when the season starts again, January 10th. So a couple weeks. That will be the 10th will be the first race at Legacy, Texas for the Iconic Series. And then the INDYCAR Championship kicks off round 1 at Texas for a 300-miler there, January 11th. Here is the the sprint schedule for Season 3. There it is. They still have at least one more to go at Interlagos on December 19th, and that will be the end of their season. So you don't want to miss that on Thursdays. Best way not to miss that is, again, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell. You'll be notified right when they go live. If you click the notify me button next to the scheduled event, you'll be notified 30 minutes before they go live. I'll check that out. That is the third series for the VOR umbrella of leagues. But in terms of us this Christmas, or this holiday season, next race for us actually will be Monday night over on the P1 channel. It'll be the ISRA Open Wheel Series Round 3 at Kentucky. And then Round 1 of the INDYCAR Oval Series kicks off on Tuesday at Iowa. And then the next race that we will have next week will be the Votive Series. And let's get Shane Coker's car here. There he is. He is the admin of the Votive Series. They have their second exhibition race on the 20th at Phoenix. That is a Friday evening, 8 p.m. Eastern. Their series, their regular season, will kick off January 8th. And the leaders are right behind Coker, so Coker about to go a lap down. Mitchum in the middle of the two leaders there. Lindy now up to second. O'Sullivan now third.
Yeah, Sullivan doing his best to hang on.
Forsyth and Wagner are not too far away from O'Sullivan. They are 1.3. There you see them. They're right there. O'Sullivan does have the purple lap for the race at 24.6. And his last lap was a 25.1. But Wagner and Forsyth are just as fast. They're 125.1s as well. Or 25.1s. Gosh, Gary. So, yeah, 24.6 for the purple lap for Liam. Last lap, 25.1. That time by for Wagner, 25 flat. And they're going to have the help from Mason Mitchum in the Foyt car. And Orman starting to pull away from Clindy by 1.8. He's all by himself. He's by. We're riding with Orman right now. He is by Shane Coker. We did find out this week from iRacing when the special events are for this season. And we are happy to say that we know when the fixed and the open Indy 500s will be. The fixed Indy 500 will be the weekend of May 9th, 10th, and 11th. And the open Indy 500 will be the weekend of May 16th, 17th, and 18th. As you remember last year, they were announced so late that they intermixed the open and the fixed schedule. So a lot of people that wanted to race all 8 of them, so to speak, couldn't necessarily. Well, I think you could have, but it would have been like a real nasty schedule.
Yeah, you weren't sleeping if you're doing it.
Right, exactly. And for the 500, you want to sleep at least a little bit. And in front of Orman is Silvazzi, who I believe is coming to pit road. Nope, is Silvazzi, Kinder, and Bennyworth. And pit road is open, of course, but stops we're not that far away from. 42 laps for Jesper, 46 for Glindy, 42 for Wags. Liam now 45. So that group has caught Liam. So we at P1 definitely are going to cover at least one fixed and one open, if not more, if we can. We just are trying to work with some other channels so we don't double up efforts out there. Haven't heard their schedules yet. I guess if we don't, we'll just maybe do it. Who knows? We'll see. But qualifying for those events typically is the week of April 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, and then May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. That's when you can qualify for those events. And you are put in a split according to your qualification speed, not your I rating. So the Indy 500 qualifying, the fixed and open Indy 500 qualifying is done differently than just about any other race that you race on iRacing. Normally you're put against other people with a similar I rating of yours, and that is not the case. You can actually be in a race, and there goes O'Sullivan down the order a little bit now to 5th. You could be in a race that has people with a 5,000 I rating, and you could have a 2,000 or something like that, or a 1,500 I rating, just because that you might be a good qualifier, a fast qualifier or something. So always just be cognizant of when you do qualify, you're not slotting yourself in a race with like-skilled people. You're slotting yourself in a race with like-speed people. And coming to pit road, Seb Alexander, stop number 3. And he went 52 on this one. And, the math doesn't work out very well on that. He's going to, well, he needs to save just a little bit.
Yeah. He would need to save just a little bit, or we get a caution during this last quarter of the race.
Liddy on pit road. Orman, pit road. Oh! I think he got down to the limit. That was close.
And here comes O'Sullivan. So yeah, all the front runners, 52 or 53 to the end.
Forsyth coming to pit road. Turning the lead over to Seb Kinder now, who's going long. Kinder 50 laps into his run. Right behind him, Salvazi. Jesper's popping out right now. Getting around him is Walker. Walker's been going long on all his stops. He's a 45 in to his stint, 55 with his last run. So if he could do that again, he's definitely good to go to the end. Other people might have to save a little bit. Seb Kinder coming in for a pit stop. Some of these might be final stops. We'll see. Salvazi gets the lead. Expect him in anytime. He is now 53 laps into his stint. There he is making the turn off of corner 3 down to the apron. Off of corner 2 down to the apron, excuse me. Now he's looking at entering pit road here. Walker, same thing. Walker will come to pit road. Walker went 49 laps that stint. Because he's really, whoa, stay down. Jesper Orman is your leader. Final stops have been performed. We will see how much these guys have to save, if they have to save it all. He is your leader by 6 seconds over Forsyth. Craig Forsyth up 14 spots to second. And there he is in this whole, this is a beehive right here, because Matt Wagner, he's been racing with Wagner, riding with Wagner all race long. These are 2 of the Area 51 admins, and their IndyCar Racing League. Forsyth, and we'll get Forsyth on the camera here. There he is, Wags. Lindy's just here to win. Liam O'Sullivan, he needs to finish ahead of Orman, and it's not looking like that without a caution. And Seb Alexander, our pole sitter, started 6th, or is currently 6th. So the battle between is for the podium is still raging on. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, all right together. Seb Kinder, there he is. He is a lap down at the moment. Seb Alexander is the last car on the lead lap. Tim Bree, currently 8th. Bennyworth, 9th. Patrick Silvazzi, 10th. There's Shane Coker. He's 11th. Ryan Walker is 12th. Gary Lovern. Of course, once again, I want to thank the guys at Lovern's Inc. for sponsoring today's race, as being the presenting partner. The championship race, the Las Vegas 500K, to wrap up the season here for season 12 of the VOR INDYCAR Championship. Gary's 13th. Mason Mitchum in the AJ throwback. He is currently, ironically, 14th. Bart showing up today, longtime starter here in the series. He's back in 15th in the Dan Weldon Klein Tools Indy 500 winner from the 2005 season. And Julian on pit road, unfortunately, with that incident with Mark Murphy. Mark Murphy is out. Griffin Yellen is out. That is your top 18 through the field at the moment. Your leader is Orman by 5.5 seconds over Craig Forsyth. 167 to 208. We believe final stops for everybody's done. Some people might have to save a lap or so. We shall see. Right now, this championship squarely, Ryan, is in the hands of Jesper Orman. It is his race to lose right now.
Yeah, but as we've seen in many occasions, it's not over until you cross the finish line.
Right, definitely for sure. Tony Stewart found out a number of times driving these cars that it's not over until the Pat Lady sings. Fortunately, we don't have random mechanicals that happen in this simulation. It would be interesting if we did, like a random blown engine or something. Although I will say that if something like that did happen for the IndyCar Series current iteration of car, it would be kind of rare. The Chevys and Hondas are kind of bulletproof anymore. They rarely grenade. Not much as like they did back in the day. Those tightly wound Cosworth engines back in the 80s would grenade in a second. And then let's not forget about the most famous grenades, the Buick Menards, the Buick V6. those cars came within a hair's breadth of winning races a number of times. It just never could quite get there. I think their best finish might have been the closest race, I think, was Tony Stewart had a 2-lap lead on the field at New Hampshire in 96, 97, and blew the engine in the closing stages and handed the race over to Scott Sharp. Ironically, in this livery right here. He finished second to Buzz Calkins at the Indy 200 to start the 96 season. I think that was the closest that Menard's engine ever got to winning. And I think it only finished 500 miles a handful of times. I think the head of that was Allenser Sr., I think, brought us a third place in that 92 Indy 500. Well, if these leaders, this second group wants to get to the leader, they're going to have to get through this whole group that's fighting for 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Now, this is going to cause some headaches. Because I think this is the most cars we'll have in a single section of track since the start.
Yeah. And those guys up ahead of Wags, they're racing. They're racing hard. They're all racing for position. They're jockeying back and forth.
And the delta in speed between the cars that could go down a lap and the lead lap guys aren't massive. They're not going to be able to blow right past.
Well, here they are. They are now in the mix as Bennyworth goes a lap down. Next up is Kimbrey. And they are working like mad, like here. Can't let this group get by us. Wagner currently second, Forsyth third, and Kinder and Bree just stay high. Oh, Kinder in the wall a little bit. Now Kinder Bree ducks down, gets a little bit of a draft from Forsyth, but goes back up high. Now Forsyth just needs to navigate around Silvazzi. Clindy now needs to do the same thing. He's by Kinder. And he needs to get by Silvazzi going into 3. And they're clear. So now the only driver needs to get through that is Seb Alexander in 5th. And in that process, Forsyth getting around Wags. He's now second. Now Wags getting it back. They are 2.8 to Orman. So they have really shaved down whatever advantage Orman had. And is it possible that, let me look at pit stops here. Maybe Orman didn't change tires? Or just the fact that they're in a draft, that's helping them.
Yeah, I think it's the draft.
I mean, they can see him. They can see him. He's that second car on your screen right there. Up ahead. There's Jesper right there. Right behind the red car. Right in front of the red car, excuse me. Or Coyote Orange. That this time by They're 0.2 faster, the second group. They're going to be 2 seconds out here in the next 2 laps. Jesper that time by 25.4. Another 25.4. 25.2s for Forsyth and Wagner. Ooh, Forsyth almost in the wall. Brian, I think about 10 laps they're going to be in the draft envelope. If they can keep this pace up.
Yeah, if they keep this pace up, they don't have to worry about fuel saving. They'll get in the draft envelope. At that point, it's just a matter of, do they have the fuel to keep pressing on and to catch him?
23.4 for Orman, or 25.4 for Orman, and 25.3 for Wagner. So another 10th. You see now they've shaved it to 2.1. They're just over a half second away from getting into that draft envelope range. And actually, they're 0.2 of a second away from getting wisp of Mason Mitchum's draft, which is actually going to pull them up into this battle faster. All right, I think we're fixing to have a big finish here. Unless there's a caution. Well, if we have a caution, it's going to group the whole field together, and then all bets are off right then. But
yeah, then we'll definitely have a big finish.
If we're gonna run this out green, I think we're fixing to have a big battle now. In front of Jesper is lap traffic, and that is Bart. And he is actually in Bart's draft window, so now he's going to be able to benefit from that. $1.8 now back to Wagner. Bart wisely ducks down out of the way. But not to the liking of Jesper, because that was going to be a draft partner for him for a while. 1.6 back to Wagner. $1.5 back to Forsyth. There's nothing Orman could do. He's probably foot to the floor. He's kind of wishing, man, I wish we got this next 10 laps can go by real quick, but I think when we get to 200, I think these guys behind are going to be there. Yeah. Unless something slows them down. Your final weather report, 89.93.
And the racetrack, the track up the road's clear. They're not hitting traffic for a long time.
Yep. Next car in front of Jesper is Bennyworth, which is 7 seconds ahead of him. And if you're just joining us, this is we're actually now into the late stages of a so far caution-free race, but we've not gone without drama. As one of our points contenders was taken out a little bit earlier with Julian. And looks like the race is in command of Jesper Orman, and the championship and race is his to lose at the moment. And once again, if you're just joining us, this is Velocity Online Racing's coverage of Championship Saturday, round 14 of 14 of the VOR INDYCAR Championship. Coming to you from Las Vegas for the Las Vegas 500K Championship race presented by Lovern's Incorporated, where Jesper Orman leads. And we're in the final stages here now. We are 15 to go. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel so you'll miss out on the next race. And they're there, guys. They're there. Wagner's 6/10, now 5/10. Mitchum gets out of the way. I wonder if Mitchum is related to the actor, Robert Mitchum. That'd be cool. My grandfather was drinking buddies with Robert Mitchum when he used to work in Hollywood.
Oh.
So it is Orman now. Wagner's there. Forsyth there. 3/10. Sit down, everybody, or at least get on the edge of that seat because we're fixing to have a photo finish here with 12 to go for the final race of the season at the Las Vegas 500K presented by Loverns Incorporated. Orman just needs to finish ahead of O'Sullivan. That's all he needs to do, and he wins this championship. Whether he wins the race or not is inconsequential. If he does win the race, he will tie Alex Van de Sant for the most wins all time in the VOR Series. It'll be his 7th victory this season. $11 to go, coming to 10 to go. We have Uncle Bobby, Buddy Lazier, and Paul Tracy. And here goes Paul Tracy, full send to the bottom. And are the gloves off between the two that were helping each other, or are they going to wait a little bit longer and try to help each other get around Jesper?
Well, I don't even know what I would do in this situation because we're all here. We don't need to catch him anymore.
Craig with 6 career wins here in the series.
Yeah, Craig took a really aggressive move to the inside. It should pay off, but he hasn't gotten clear yet.
Wags, no wins in the INDYCAR Championship, has a win in the Iconic Series in his first race when we were at, and there's a pass for the lead. Wags got his first win at on the DW12 Series at Phoenix a couple weeks ago. And we go side by side, 8 to go. Jesper won the 3 of the first 4 at Homestead, Texas, and Iowa. And then going down the stretch, he won at Nashville Superspeedway, Kentucky, and Phoenix. Now looking for win number 7 here. All ovals at Las Vegas. 6 to go. And you know what? Clindy's in this. And here comes Seth Alexander. 6 to go, and we're back in this. Everybody's back in this now. They've all run this group down. Clindy to the outside and around Wagner.
But can Clint get to the leading tube?
Exactly. I think he can get there. And Liam's back in 6 going, man, I hope what happens coming to the finish at the Iconic Series happens again today. Because Orman and Julian wrecked out coming to the checkered flag in the Iconic Series yesterday. But Orman managed to still bring the car around to the start-finish line and got credit for 3rd. And now Alexander on the inside of Wagner might get that position. I think Wagner's tires are gone. Oh!
Very unfortunate.
3 to go. Does Craig Forsyth have anything for Jesper? Can Clindy get there? Forsyth looking for a good finish and maybe move the 3rd place in the standings. We shall see. Down low on the white line, very similar to what happened yesterday. 3 and 4 on the outside is Forsyth. Coming off of 4, looking at the white flag. Last time by, last lap of the season. Here we go, and it's coming down between Orman and Forsyth. Forsyth on the high side. He might have the momentum coming down the backstretch, but he doesn't have the position. He's going to keep it up there. Full send it, run it. Going to go side by side into 3 and 4. Here we come to the finish off of 3 and 4, and I think it's going to be Jesper Orman getting win number 7 and the championship for IAR. Jesper Orman wins. Wow. And he is now your Season 12 champion. Here we go. Let's get a better shot in there for him as he's going to do some burnouts, I think. Here are your results. Jesper Orman, your winner by 0.091 of a second. Clindy is, that's over Forsyth. Clindy is third. Wags fourth. Looked like the tires just kind of gave up on Wags, but a valiant run for Wags and Forsyth to run down Jesper. Seb Alexander in fifth. Liam O'Sullivan sixth. Patrick Silvazzi seventh. Seb Kinder eighth. Ryan Walker in his debut here in the series, a ninth spot, ninth finish. Congratulations, Shane Coker. Another top 10 in 10th. So Liam O'Sullivan doesn't get what he needs in order to get to the championship. Only manages to finish 6th. Very disappointing for him, I'm sure. But we will talk with Jesper, Craig, and Kyle. And I believe with Seb and Jesper being a top 5 finish, I believe that locks up the team championship from IAR. But we will talk to Jesper not only about the win and the championship, but the team championship, as he's one of the IAR principals. Pennyworth 11th, Lovern 12th. Again, thank Lovern for sponsoring today's race. Mitchum 13th, Bree 14th, Bart 15th, Julian disappointing 16th. Just a bummer second half of the season for Julian. Murphy 17th, Griffin Yellen, 18th, and that is your 18-car field. And let's put those away just for a second here. All right. And let's get into the interview room and talk to Clindy. He finished third. He was here to win. There was no doubt about it. That's the only thing he was here for, here to win. So we'll talk about his first VOR race and bring him on up. And here he is. Clindy, you were here to win, not here to finish third, but that's where you came home at. You kind of helped, were involved in that group a little bit that ran down Orman there at the end, but maybe not enough time or not enough tires to stick with them. What happened? But great finish for you, finishing third here.
Yeah, I think I lost that race on the second stint. I just pushed a little too hard to try to control the race, thinking that my economy was going to stay the same as it did when the track was hot and we were lifting for the corners.
Hmm.
But as soon as the track got easy flat, my economy went to somewhere else, and so I was about 2 laps short at the start of the penultimate stint. And so I made up those 2 laps, and I felt like I needed to save just a little bit so I could push at the end. Um, and it was so hard to save fuel because the fuel maps blow up your engine. So when I was in map 3, my dashes were pegged red, and I have no idea how to save fuel in map 1, especially when the temps just didn't go down. I lifted in the corners, I found clean air, I did everything I could to get the temps down, but my engine was at like 280
Wow.
Fahrenheit for that whole stint, and I was afraid if I pushed, I'd just blow up. And so I thought, in order to finish first I must finish. So I saved my gas, I saved my motor, and then by the time I knew that I could make it, Forsyth and Orman were both side by side, and that only left me the top. And the tires were so gone that I just didn't have enough time to rip the fence like I wanted to and get a big run on them both, like I had earlier in the race. And there's so much more grip with the track temp going down. It's just so hard to overcome the bottom 2 lanes. So I probably could have been more aggressive when Matt and Craig were swapping through that pack of lapped cars to try to pass Matt or Craig and be in that lead duo, because I think I had enough fuel at that point, but I didn't feel comfortable because I thought I would blow my motor, like going hammer down. So I guess I should have just let the rough side hang and go for it all, because P3 bronze medal's not a gold medal, but what a drive by Jesper. He absolutely has his place figured out. It felt like he had 5 more horsepower down every straight just because of the way he would exit. And I wish I would have been able to keep up with him, but he just drove away from me when we were catching lappers, because he would put the lappers on the preferred line, and then I couldn't run the top like I wanted because he was there, and I just lost a second and a half on him going through 2 lappers there in the middle of the race. So I have to do some homework, that's for sure, because I'm not fast enough, and I need to be faster.
Well, I guess in true Scott Dixon MO, I mean, you started the race off, with a decent qualifying performance, kind of float back and are kind of out of the picture there for a while. And then lo and behold, when the checkered flag comes, here's Scott Dixon and Scott and Clindy, you coming home third. So way to live to the spirit of your livery and the driver that normally drives that. You kind of followed his MO to a T. Congratulations, these shout outs, friends, family, sponsors. I know you're not sponsored by PNC Bank, but I'm sure you got some other sponsors out there you want to throw out.
Yeah, Shane Cooker's in this race. He ran really well. He was out in the Sam Hornish car. He makes and runs the Votive Racing League. They're typically on my car. They race Wednesday nights. We have a race next Friday or Saturday, the 20th, at Phoenix, New Phoenix at nighttime. So tune into that on P1. That'll be fun. Thanks, you guys, for hosting this VOR channel, and Julian for running the league. It's really fun. It's the first one of these races that I've done. I think I might do more of them when I can or my schedule allows. And shout outs to my friends and family, both here in Maryland and back home in Illinois, and my wife who's downstairs relaxing after a hard day at work. And shout out to those family back home in Minonk, Illinois, who operate Segerman Farms. So thanks again, Gary, for having me today. And I'm sorry I couldn't do better than bronze, but I'm the only car that finished where I started. So
that's true.
I'll take that to the bank.
All right, congratulations, man. We will check you later, and of course, you can hear Clindy and me start the Iconic Series here January 10th, which we moved. It's actually Friday, but the start of that race for the Iconic Series is now 4 p.m. Eastern. We'll call the start of that next season for the Iconic Series January 10th at let's see, it's going to be Texas Motor Speedway, and it'll be me and Clindy on the call, so you can join us then. So we will see everybody here on the channel. We'll hear you next, but congrats on the podium. We'll catch you at the next one.
Thank you, Gary. See you later.
And of course, speaking of that votive coverage, that will be over on P1, and 2 of the guys that will be calling that action were involved in this race, one of which was Mark Murphy. The other is Ryan Eric King. You'll be on the call of those votive races starting in January 8th. That's a league that's quickly growing in aspiration as well as skill set.
Yeah, the the votive races are always a blast to call. Completely unpredictable. Anything could happen because, you know, the way me and Mark always put it, they're two distinctive groups of racers in these leagues, and they're on the same track. So obviously, mistake in one group causes a caution that impacts everyone out in track, and we got to reset the whole thing.
And Craig Forsyth, we'll be bringing him up next. He will finish, and the standings are complete. They've been updated. Orman is your winner by 28 points over Liam O'Sullivan, 41 points over Julian. So Julian does finish third. Mark Murphy finishes fourth with 37. And Craig, just if he got the win, he would have finished, I think, 7 points ahead of Murphy, and he would have gone up to fourth. But Craig will finish fifth in the championship. So we will bring Craig on up here. Craig, P2 today. I'm not sure if you ran out of time or tire. That's what I'm hearing a little bit from Clindy, but the P2 today definitely got you to P5 in the championship. A solid top 5 in the championship is always a pretty good one, considering the history and how hard some of these VOR seasons can be. But talk about your race. You and Wags were a heck of a combination running down Orman there at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think either of us did ourselves any favors starting from the back. So that was terrible timing on my part. I left the pits too late and did my first lap too slow. So cost myself my fast lap, which put us at the back. So I'm very happy with the result just because it stayed green the whole time. So despite that, we had to push our way through traffic, which was just using the fuel. So it was a lot of strategy to try and, do the leapfrog while still saving fuel, wherever you could. And then, whenever we could get to a lap car or anything, it was like a couple laps of dialing it down until we got by them, saving fuel, trying to stretch it to get ourselves back. Cause I think the first stint we ended up, I think 2 laps, we were 2 laps earlier than the lead, most of the lead guys. And it's like, that'll start accumulating over the course of a green flag race. It'll get worse and worse and worse. So we had to start catching back up and, I'm constantly watching the fuel, my fuel to the end indicator to make sure that we were within the ballpark that, if we started catching up to, like, our biggest luck was getting that one group of lapped cars. I think it was on the last stint actually, which was what separated us out from Liam and Sebastian and those guys. We knew that basically that was going to be the opportunity to spread those lead lap guys out, because at that point I knew that they were going to be hard pressed on fuel, just because that by the time we got into that part of the race, they had all pitted earlier than I had. So I knew that I was in the catbird seat, so to speak. Then at that point, I mean, Jesper had a 6.5 second lead. He'd pitted 1 lap earlier than I had, so I knew he was going to be tight on fuel just based on the numbers I was doing. But he was falling back. He didn't ever seem to get any of the lap traffic to try and draft with, which was unfortunate for him, good for us. But he was doing it properly. He was, he dialed it back, was slowly falling back, while making sure he hit his numbers. And then by the time he got to us, he was, had fallen back to us. He was able to just run in map 1 and keep it up. And I was going the whole time just hoping he was going to run out of fuel. I got the bottom, and then I don't know where my brain went. I gave it back up, and that was the last I ever saw the bottom. So at that point, it was 10 laps of me just hoping he would run out of fuel, which never happened.
Well, we'll find out if he's going to reveal. Of course, all magicians never reveal the tricks of their trade, but we'll see if he'll tell us how much was left in the tank. Well, there we have the final standings up on the not the race standings, but the championship standings there. So top 5 in the championship, not too bad.
If I clawed my way back to 5, I am happy as can be, because what was I, 9th or something at the time? Yeah, no, that's great. So
not too bad, and I suspect we'll probably see you in the next season. But good to have you here, so close to another win here in the series. Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors. Anyone want to say hi to before we let you go?
Yeah, I was thinking it's been a while since I've gotten a win. I need one of those. I've got to thank Jim over at 4D Racewear. I mean, you guys, you and Ryan doing the broadcast. Thank you for that. Julian running this league. Like, this is a good competitive league. I mean, it gets a lot of the guys that, we don't get a lot of chance to, us North Americans don't get a lot of chance to see during the weekdays leagues that we run. So it's nice to see those guys, race with a different bunch of guys, and that's what keeps your reflexes good, right? So if you race with the same guys all the time, you learn how they race. So if you're always racing with new guys, it's fun because that way you have something new to challenge.
I always say with these cars,
thanks.
you got to keep your skill set sharp. So that is for sure.
Exactly.
I didn't mean to cut you off there, but any other shout outs anybody want to say hi to?
Nope.
All right.
That's good. I'm happy as can be with seconds, so we will run away with that.
All right. Well, hi to everybody in your stream, and we will catch you at the next race, whatever it is. But congratulations on P5 in the championship and P2 on the racetrack today.
Thanks, Gary. Thanks, Ryan. Stay safe.
You too. And let's get back into here, and we'll move Craig on down. And now let's bring up our champion, Jesper Orman. Here he is. Jesper, congratulations. Win number 7 of the season, which ties you now with Alex Van Asant all time with the most career wins here in the series. And it also clinches your first series championship here in VOR. Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. And one more congratulations to your team for winning the team's championship. That is nearly I would just kind of call that almost a perfect season for you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, happy as can be. There's not much to complain about. It was a fun race. It was a fun season. I had to, had to catch up to Liam there second half of the season, but it was fun. Julian's done a great job with the series, and competition keeps getting better and better. And yeah, I'm looking forward to coming back for sure.
Let's talk about that last run. Other people were tight on fuel, and Craig was saying that he thought that you might have been tighter on fuel. How much fuel did you cross the finish line with, if you could reveal that to us?
I think it was something like 0.01. No, 0.1 gallons. I think it was 0.08 or something. So yeah, it was like a couple of 100 meters, maybe.
Well, it was on E, but sometimes people say in America, E stands for enough. So it was enough to get you there.
Yeah.
So
to run map 3 there to preserve the fuel. I was kind of hoping, to get some people to run behind. You usually get those, especially at these tracks where it's like it's only a 25-second lap. So I thought it was spread out a bit more, but it was a desert out there on the last end. So I had to dial back to map 3 and just slowly see these guys catching, and I had to make sure that I had at least one lap of map 1 and there in the end, so that I could fight back when they would really try and get me. And I was kind of, when they got up to me there, I briefly went into map 4, and that was kind of like watching the mirror. And then I saw, I don't know, I remember if it was Wagner or if it was Forsyth, they got a run on me. So then I just dialed it up to map 1 for a few seconds, so that I knew that I could get more soda out of the engine.
Yeah.
To defend it. But then at the same time, I knew that I didn't have to win necessarily, because Liam was falling back. He was stuck behind Seb. Seb did a great job today keeping Liam behind. So I gotta thank him for sure. So I was okay. He got me there, Craig, on the inside. And I was like, I'm happy. I'll just sit in P2, and I'll just make sure that nothing happens. But then he kind of gave me the inside again. I was like, what the heck? I'll just go for it then. So yeah, that's how that played out. Yeah.
So how many laps to go was it when you finally turned the wick up to 1 and said, okay, time to go?
Oh, that was the last lap.
Lap.
I was, yes. So I need to be in map 3 and map 4 up until the second to last lap. But if Craig did get a run on me, I briefly went into map 1 for a few seconds, so that I knew that he wouldn't clear me. But yeah, I was sitting map 3. You lose about not 2/10, but almost. Like you lose something like 1500s. You lose compared to map 1 in map 3. So I mean, it's doable.
Well, before we start talking about the team, let's talk about you. Now the series champion, you'll have the option to wear number 1 for next season. Will we see you next season defend your championship and possibly get that record-breaking 18th win to go ahead of Alex Van de Sande? I know Alex is one of your chief rivals in the community. And having bragging rights, I know, is a big thing. Will we see you bat to get that 18th win and to go for that second straight championship?
Yeah, why not? As I said, Jules has done a great job, and yeah, I don't believe in superstition, so I would gladly take number 1. If my car has to be green, I'll gladly paint it green as well. So
I'm an old baseball player. I believe in superstitions way too much. So
okay,
you're a stronger man than I am on that front.
Yeah, but what can I say? Every record, every win, every championship is it's there for the history, and no one can take it from you. So I'm just I'm just glad that I was gifted with this talent on especially ovals then. So for some reason I'm pretty good at it, and it's fun. So yeah, thankful for that.
Yeah, it's more than just an American specialty. Apparently, the Europeans like a lot of turning left as well. Let's talk about the team. You've been with IAR for a very long time, and they've come a very long way, and now are among the major players in the community. You got the team championship here today in the VOR series, which is a big deal. A number of teams have shown up here before in the past. And you guys are gonna walk away with the team crown for this season. Talk about the team overall this season, and talk about how the team is doing elsewhere in other leagues and in the community as a whole.
Yeah, we steadily but readily gaining on the absolute top teams. We're not quite there yet, but we are gaining momentum, and we're gaining on the gap that they have on us. Can I say we are a great group of guys. We've spent a lot of time discussing setups and discussing driving style and everything. So mainly INDYCAR. I would love to do maybe a Daytona 24 hours. That would be fun. But yeah, I think we've been around now for maybe 6 years. Started off with Oliver Silva and Hugo. They invited me to the team, and then we invited Thomas Christensen to the team, and then Hugo, he just became too fast too quickly, so he already left the team. But from then on, I'm really proud of how we bounced back from losing Hugo, and then we got a few new drivers. Seb is the most notable, obviously. He's been around since back then, 3 or 4 years. He's doing a great job with the setups and on track as well. Today, fighting off Liam was key for me.
Yeah, he had a win this season for you guys at Laguna Seca here in the VOR series.
Yeah, that too. Don't forget. So yeah, fortunately we had 2 guys drop off the team recently, Kevin and Sam Kurosala, which kind of sucked, but we're not looking for new drivers at the moment, but you never know. I mean, Team Hyperslide, how many people do they have on their team now? 15, 20 or something? It's like it's pretty hopeless at times when they want something, when they really practice and everything. It's so difficult to just get into the race, because there's so many of them, and yeah.
Do you
But
think I know some of these setups that some of these teams have been around a while, mainly because the car itself has not changed very much lately. Now we know it's going to change. The tire models changed, but we know the car is going to change. We know the center of gravity is going to change when they redesign or at least take into account the lighter aero screen now, and then the center of gravity will change based upon the hybrid unit. Do you think that when all those numbers kind of change, some of those old setups that some of these teams have been sitting on aren't going to be good anymore, and they'll have to go back to the drawing board a little bit to redesign some new ones?
absolutely, but I don't think it's going to change that much. These guys, they don't just have the setups; they have the knowledge. They can make all these shortcuts. They know what works. They know they spot these trends. They spot like these how do you call it? Yeah, trends, whatever.
Yeah.
So they'll be up to speed so quickly, and I think the new build is probably gonna set us back a little bit more. But we're just gonna have to fight and come back stronger as we always do. So yeah, it was fun. And like on a completely different note, I really loved the classic livery theme that we had going today. That was super fun.
Yeah, much like Bobby Unser did. He pretty much was winning up until his last race, and so bring out that livery one more time, gets the last win of the season. So that is a proven winning livery right there. Well, congratulations. It is that time. We'll give you the microphone for all the shout-outs that you need to make on behalf of your win here, your win in the championship, and your team winning the team championship. So take all the time you need. Thank all the people you need. Go right ahead. And you don't have a time limit. Go right ahead.
Okay. Let's see. I don't have a list here, but okay. We can begin by thanking my paint guy, or paint girl, I should say, Vilda Valin, Vapsi.com. She recently added the Ukrainian flag on my what's it called? This thing, the aero screen. So thank you for that, Vilda, and obviously Seb. He's always there. He's always working hard. We're always talking. We're always bouncing ideas off of each other, and yeah, what can I say? And Mark has been a soldier this season and this series. He had an unfortunate incident today, but hope everything is okay with him. Anyway, and his family, and all the guys on the team. Rashad, always positive, always the sober. When I get out there a little bit, he brings me back, and he puts me in the right mindset where I need to be. And yeah, Chris, Will, and I hope Thomas will come back soon. He bought a new house a couple years ago, and I know that he wants to buy a new rig. So I would love to see Thomas back on track. That'd be awesome. And last but not least, my girlfriend since 1.5 years back, putting up with me,
Yes.
Staying up at night at 3 a.m. tomorrow, and like she understands that this is something that I want to do, something that I need to do to stay sane in these times. But yeah, so big thank you to my girlfriend and her son. They always they're supportive of what I do and everything. So yeah, it's a team effort.
Oh, that is awesome. Well, congratulations on absolutely everything. A fantastic season, a fantastic last race here. Fantastic to win the championship, the team championship. I mean, you did it all, near perfect sweep. Congratulations. We look forward to seeing you wearing the number one, if you want to wear the number one next season when we kick off January 11th. But congrats on everything, and we will catch you later. But best wishes, and we'll see you on later down the road.
Yeah, thanks guys for broadcasting all season. It makes it special, and I wish I could watch the the broadcasts live, because it's so much fun with you guys. You Gary, you know so much, and yeah, I mean, sometimes I watch them back. So thank you
Wagner
guys for
manages
putting it.
to watch the live broadcast. I don't know how he manages to pull that off, but ask
Yeah.
Wagner how he does it.
I gotta do that. Yeah, sure.
All right, Jesper
thank you
Orman,
for
winner here at
season.
Vegas, the winner of the series championship, and representative of the team that won the team championship. Congratulations. Triple Crown Day for a Triple Crown guy. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, man. Thanks.
Now, we will bring up last final words here from Julian. I don't know if he wants to. We'll give him final words. He's the league admin. Final thanks, and then we'll get on out of here with our final thoughts. But here he is. We're going to bring Julian up to the box here. Julian, regardless of what happened on the racetrack with you today, we figured we wanted you to bring you up here. Kind of state of the league, redress, your final thoughts on the season, and any thank yous that you'd like to give out before we sign off tonight.
Yeah, first of all, I hope Mark's wife's okay. I think I heard him say her name was Natalie before. I'm sorry if I butchered that, but I hope she's all right. Yeah, just really bummed about the incident. I haven't finished a single oval race since the Indy 500. It's just...
Yeah, we had to look that up, unfortunately.
I kind of want to think about what would have happened if I didn't retire from all those races, but I also don't, because I'm just going to be depressed until January. So... yeah, but overall, great result by Jesper and the IAR boys. Just really disappointing from our side. Liam just didn't quite have the pace to match him once Cal got past him again, and then chucked it into map 5 for unknown reasons. But yeah, Liam until then was doing what he needed to do, and then it kind of went downhill from there. But he would have lost the championship either way. So that's just the hard truth. And we'll try again next season as a team. May have to restructure a few bits here and there, both on the team and also on the league, with an updated rule book and stuff. But overall, it's been an awesome year for the league in general. Of course, the broadcast coming back with you and Ryan this season, and you and David last season. So it's been a great step up, even from before the broadcast ban. So everything's just bigger and better these days, at least for us on our side on the league. So I'm really excited for next season. Hope to see many of the front runners return again next season. But yeah, overall, just really disappointed with the result today, obviously. But not much you can really do, because with 7 DNFs on ovals, you're just never going to be in the mix. So I'm actually surprised I finished as high up as I did. So yeah, we move on and get to Texas in a couple of weeks for the new season, and yeah, that's about it, really.
Any final shout outs to sponsors and supporters, friends, family, anybody you want to say hi to before we let you go?
Yeah, like I mentioned, the team did a great job this season. Like I said, we do have some improvements to make, but we'll get there eventually. This year has been great for us overall. Even in the elite, we've been bagging a couple top 10s. So hopefully we can keep that going. I want to thank Gary Lovern from Lovers Incorporated and Alex Boney from IFS Personal Financial Planning for sponsoring multiple races and series this year, and going into next year, of course, as well. You guys for the amazing broadcasts. Gary, you did a great job, and Ryan, I know you're still learning, but you're getting there. Great job by you throughout the season. The improvement's definitely been there, so you can definitely take that into the new year. Yeah, just everyone who raced in the league this year, everybody who made everything possible in the first place. Just first of all, paying the entry fee so we could pay the broadcast as well. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm gonna blow off some steam with my girlfriend in the gym. So
okay,
we get back to the action there in a couple of weeks.
All right. Well, good having you here. Wanted to get in those final words. We figured you might have some, and we will check you out here in a couple weeks when the next season starts. Lucky number season 13 when we get to Texas here in a couple weeks. We'll see you then.
Yeah, hopefully that unlucky season 13 is going to be my lucky season 13, because my luck the past few seasons has been dog awful. So
Just pull
I'm
out the
actually
green.
excited for lucky season 13.
Just throw out everything and drive the green car and everything, and just watch you go right to the championship.
I actually just might now. You gave me an idea. We'll see if I go ahead with that. But thanks again, guys, and see you next year.
I think one of those green shiny car VOR cars would actually look pretty sweet, to be honest. But we will see you then. But I'm sure we'll talk before then. But thanks for coming on.
Absolutely, we'll see. Thanks, guys.
Ryan, final thoughts, my friend. Long season. We've been at this since what? When we start this? August at least.
It was August, late August.
Yeah. Get to the schedule for this season. We started June actually at Homestead, and then kind of it's been a journey, and it's been good having you here. Your thoughts on this season, this championship, this race, and anything else you got before we sign off?
I mean, this year's been fantastic, and what you want to see in every championship, it went down to the last race. Didn't quite go down to the last lap, but we're pretty close.
Yeah, and all the races were pretty much close this year. We had 7 different winners this season. Jesper won a season-high 7 races. Julian won a race at Road America. Matthias Strauss won that great race of his breakthrough win at Gateway in August. And the next week, Patrick Salvazzi gets that win at the Indy GP. Then we see Seb Alexander get his first win at Laguna Seca. Liam O'Sullivan gets 2 wins this season. He's, believe it or not, the next highest driver with wins is 2. And that's him. He won the big one in Indianapolis. And then he won at Pocono. So if we ever get into a Triple Crown situation, dude's got 2 of the Triple Crown tracks pretty well covered. And then Luis Nunez won last week at Belle Isle. So 7 different winners through 14 races. A lot of parity. If you're looking at this is a season or a series that you'd like to participate in, I mean, just know a couple things. Julian's been around a while. He's the admin. They've been doing this since 2020. Now they'll be on their 13th season, organized season, at the next race when it starts up in January of 2025. This has been around a while. It's probably one of the more top 10 prestigious leagues. If you're wanting to participate, you need to sign up to the Discord, learn everything there from the Discord server. Then you can sign up. There is an entry fee, and you could be on the starting grid for next season. But VOR, 12 seasons now backwards, and we're still looking forward for season 13 and beyond. And that's just the INDYCAR Championship. Of course, there's the Sprint car, the Sprint Series, and which is the IR18, and the DW12 Series, which is the Iconic Series that will run alongside the IR18 Series, the INDYCAR Championship. And that's a free series because everybody gets a car for free. All you need to do is have the tracks, and when they schedule for the Iconic Series, they tend to lean toward legacy tracks. So those are tracks that are going to be available to you at low cost or no cost on the service. You want to check that out. And that's a no cost entry league as well. So if you're interested in any of this, make sure you get into the Discord and engage yourself over there. Any other final thoughts before we wrap this up, Ryan?
No, I think I covered all the bases. I'm just excited for next season.
Yeah, and there's, I think, a lot of excitement brewing for next season. We'll get on out of here and give everyone back their Saturdays. For me, it's a next stop for me and Ryan is Saturday night's main event here in a couple hours. So let's get on out of here. So that's it for today. Once again, your podium for the Las Vegas 500K Championship Race presented by Loverns Incorporated from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Jesper Orman gets the win. Craig Forsyth second. Clindy comes home third. And once again, congratulations to our Season 12 champion, Jesper Orman, with the season-high 7 wins, gets the championship, and his team, Indy Alliance Racing, Team AIR, they win the team championship. Join VOR again on Saturday, January 11th, as we start the championship journey all over again as we kick off season 13 at Texas Motor Speedway. Coverage, as always, will start approximately at 3 p.m. Eastern. Again, that's 3:00 p.m. Eastern time. And remember, for the correct broadcast time in your area, you can find everything here on YouTube at youtube.com and just search Velocity Online Racing. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm of the game is not an easy one, so please help support us with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below to let us know your thought of today's race, and if you enjoyed today's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe, and while you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so you'll miss out on more of Velocity Online Racing's other iRacing programming, including coverage from their IR18 Sprint Series, which has one race to go this season. Make sure to check out that schedule. And that will be it for their 2024 calendar year before everything starts back up in January. Today's Las Vegas 500K Championship race is brought to you by Lovern's Incorporated. Lovern's provides professional services in renovation, remodeling, painting, and mold removal for government, commercial, and residential projects. To quote or learn more, you'll have to like them on Facebook or follow them on their website, or actually visit their website. That's twice I've done that today. I didn't mean to butcher Lovern's Inc., but I have. For a quote or to learn more, like them on Facebook or visit their website at lovernsinc.com today. All the links you need are in the description. I want to thank them for their sponsorship of races all season long. Again, that's Lovern's Inc. Track cams for this race are provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash Sim Cams. To learn more about Whiplash, like them on Facebook or follow them on Twitter and Instagram. The links are in the description. For business inquiries to learn more about Velocity Online Racing and what they do, visit velocityonlineracing.com. Like them on Facebook or follow them on Twitter. So for everybody that's helped out in the booth this season, so Ryan, Erik, King, Clindy, everyone at Velocity Online Racing, Julian, everyone there, I'm Gary Godsoe saying to all, happy Saturday. Thanks for watching. And to all of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again. Once again, congrats to our Season 12 champion, Jesper Orman, the man you see on your screen, and Indy Alliance Racing for winning the team championship. Catch us all again right here, January 11th, 2025 in Texas, and that will be our next race of the VOR INDYCAR Championship. Happy holidays, and we'll see ya.